Away they go. The Serranos. And they're going to get chased down by Suranos. Majestic. We do have 4 minutes and 15... no. How long do we have to wait? What did I say? 4 minutes 45 seconds before we can go. In the other Serrano. This video is brought to you by the YouTube area of my website. Check out every single video series I've done categorized by game type alongside chronological playlists and extra info at bruvy.com/YouTube. Oh, that battle for the lead in the SUV Serranos. Oh, that looks dicey. The top two are getting away nicely though. Well, there's been a crash on the final corner. Vinco's into the lead on his own now. There's a big gap further back. There's a big group. They're all probably slowing each other down with all that. That gives the faster cars a chance if we can have a clean race. We're going to be multiple laps down though. They're going to pass us a third time, I think. So Vinco's got a massive lead for the SUV Serranos. Massive lead. We've still got 30 seconds to go. I think they're all going to pass us. I think we're going to get lucky. Oh, this is good. This is good. That could have been dicey if we had to start in the middle of all that. Alright, 11 minutes on the timer for the Serranos. Jesus. The character's properly having a good old dance there. But we are going to be overtaking them very quickly. Not the greatest start. God. I was saying that's an advantage for the fast cars if we can keep it clean. We very much did not keep it clean. So, Serranos versus Serranos. Two very different names. I knew I was going to get collected by that. God damn it. Okay, well, I'm not going to be winning this one, but we'll see how far up the order we can get. We'll try to do a bit of a recovery. Going to be a lot. I think there's going to be there's going to be a lot of chaos going on in this one because we're 3 laps down. We've got to overtake them twice before we're then on the same lap as them. I think. Are we 4 laps down and we've got to overtake them 3 times? I don't know. Do you know what? On this one, I'm just going to drive and see what happens and see where we end up. But it's a true multi-class car v car. We have to do the multi-class glitch to get this started. Obviously the Serrano is in the SUVs class. The Surano is in the sports class. You can't race with them together normally. Good old multi-class glitch coming up trumps again. And we're already overtaking them for the first time, I think. Or soon. But yeah, this has been on my list for a while now. Because, I mean, they're two very different names in terms of, you know, how they're spelt, but they sound exactly the same. When you actually say them. Oh, this is gonna be, oh god. I said there was going to be a lot of chaos. The winner of this race is going to be the one who has the cleanest race, I think. Because that's going to go on all the way through this race, I'm pretty sure. But as usual, it's all being calculated to finish close, so whoever has the best race, regardless of which car you're in, will take the win. Over 23 laps, a 4-minute 45-second difference should mean that the top two are about equal at the end, assuming perfect races for both. That's obviously not how racing goes, but we just got to see how far up the order we can get by the end. And I'm in the fast car this time. Back in the fast one. Hasn't been the greatest start though. I feel like I've not actually made any mistakes myself in this race so far. I've just been collected by other people's incidents or crashes or misjudgments or whatever. Yet anyway. Through the middle. Yeah, that's true. They're both Benefactor cars as well. They're both made by the manufacturer Benefactor. So it's an interesting naming scheme to have two cars made by the same manufacturer that are two very different cars, but basically the same name. But it helps me if I say the wrong name, no one's ever going to notice. Because I do that sometimes. In the utility vehicle one, I was saying slam van instead of slam truck and stuff. If I say Serrano instead of Serrano, it makes no difference whatsoever. Sounds exactly the same. So we've obviously already kissed goodbye to any chances of winning this race. After all the crashes I've had already, I think I'd be happy if I could get a top 10 maybe. But I'm genuinely curious about which, because there's the leader of the Serranos, who has a massive gap, Evinco. So we've taken a full lap back now from the SUVs. When I want to be clear which one I'm talking about, I'm just going to say SUVs and sports cars. Since they sound the same. Alright, where am I at? Is that 6th? In the sports cars. Yeah, I think I'm 6th in sports, which if that tracks towards the end of the race, that would be just outside the top 10. I'm on for a 12th, all things being equal, if I'm 6th in sports, but obviously as we know with these races, it can vary quite a lot between now and the end of the race. More SUVs coming up already. We're just overtaking them all the time, it seems. I think there are more SUVs than there are sports cars in this one though. Or maybe not. There was in the qualifying, but people might have switched. Oh, I thought he was going to keep going over to the right. get in front. Fantastic. I knew I needed to be in front there. I didn't expect him to go just that wide. Oh, messy race. Messy, messy race. Yeah, it's actually switched the other way. We've got more sports cars than we do SUVs. I'm pretty sure there was less sports cars in qualifying, but we might have had a few switch over to the Serrano. God damn it. I felt like I was catching up to 4th and 5th in the sports cars as well before that crash. So messy with the crashes, but it is a short track, lots of lapping, big pace difference between the vehicles. It's to be expected, really, although I think I've been a little bit more unlucky than average in this race so far. Half the battle is just predicting which way the SUVs are going to go. Like for that latest crash, I was going to go to the inside, then he went to the inside, then he just went so deep into the corner. It's impossible to predict. Discretion, the better part of valor, maybe. Giving a bit of extra margin. Not that much more margin. Because the Serranos, the SUVs, are actually quite grippy. They're one of the grippier SUVs of the sort of old 2013 era of cars. Because they're the only ones that had a spoiler from back in the day. Both of these cars, 2013 base game cars. Yeah, I'm 10, 12 seconds back from 4th and 5th in sports cars now. So I'm not catching that. I was a lot closer before that latest crash. So the best I can hope for, really, I think, is getting back into that 6th place for the Suranos, the sports cars. And then see where that puts me overall, based on how well people in the SUVs have done in their own races. I'm going to chase down Verdlith. I was ahead. Lost so much time in crashes. I still don't think I've done anything that's been my fault so far. Although I don't think my decision making on the latest crash on that corner was the best. I think the Serrano is grippier than the Radius. Yeah, basically it's the grippiest of the... Okay, that made it easy. It's the grippiest of the... oh, but that was for position as well on the other SUV, I think. It's grippier than any of the original SUVs, I would say. It's because it has that spoiler upgrade with the extra traction. It was the only one that did back in 2013. But it's really low on power, so that's why it was always a bit off the pace in SUVs. Alright, well, we passed the leader again. I think we got to pass him one more time, and then it would be for position. Nice, quiet, peaceful part of the race. I should enjoy this, really. There's not going to be many clean laps. This is going to be a bit dicey. Back off and get power out. That's the way to do it. Interesting observation from the chat there. I think it is going to be that. That's exactly what it's going to be. A battle between Evinco and Ovinco in the top two spots. In the top spots for both classes. Evinco, although Evinco is this is friggin' typical, isn't it? In the race where we do the car v car with the cars of the same name, basically, in terms of the way that you say them, the top two currently in the race in each car also have basically the same name. Evinco versus Ovinco in the Serrano versus the Serrano. Absolutely ridiculous. Clearly rigged. Script writers have done a good job, I know. This stream is so confusing. I know, right? God, I've got so much clear air in front. But yeah, based on the leaderboard, it looked like Specky was closing in quite quickly on Evinco in the SUVs. So we'll have to see how that pans out, because Evinco got a massive gap early on. Oh, it's only 2 seconds now. It's definitely closing in. Specky's got some pace. But it's had to come from quite far back, I think. It's probably in that massive gaggle at the start. That's what I mean, you just never know how anybody else's races have been going. Those in the SUVs who I might be fighting for a top 10 might have had just as chaotic of a race as I have. Still might be chances for positions towards the end. That's why these car v cars are so good as well. Because you just never know until the final few laps. Like, I know I'm not going to be catching the top 5 in the sports cars, but quite where I'm going to finish overall remains to be seen. Well, I'm up to 19th. We've been gaining a few early positions from some of the backmarker SUVs. Wasn't the best corner I've ever done in the world. We should be coming up to the lead battle in the SUVs soon, I think. I guess my hope now is that if any bad luck from some of the top sports cars is due, like they'll get it towards the end of the race. I had all my bad luck at the start of the race. Need some of the bad luck for the other sports cars to even itself out towards the end. Predict where you're going to finish. I'm going to be optimistic and say 10th. I think I can still squeak a 10th. This is the lead battle for the SUVs and potentially the overall race. Not getting involved, just... Alright, so we're probably not going to see these two again because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to catch them by the end. 4 laps to go. We'll see how it pans out. Getting into the closing stages now. This is where we're going to start to get some overtakes for position, I think. Well, there's one. So we got 15th. I know that there's 5 Serranos ahead of me. There's 14th. Is this for 13th? Yep. It's going to be an exciting finish. If those two are battling in the SUVs, and then you've got Ovinko's in 5th, 40 seconds back. It's going to be close, you know. There's 12th. Okay, so we've got sports cars in 3rd and 4th now. SUVs in 1st and 2nd. It's going to be quite the battle on these few laps. Can they catch? How many laps? 3 laps, 2.5 for me. Who's gonna win? Sports car or SUV? Which Serrano will be the king? Surano or Serrano? There's 11th. One more position for a 10th. Is it going to be one of these? Oh, is it going to be 9th? Yes. Is that... Are those some Serranos that I'm racing against, or are they back markers? Well, we got top 10. I did predict it. 8th. RBS. 2.2 seconds. Might be able to get another position. I haven't seen another friggin' Serrano for position for ages. Master, you're a back marker. Need you to blue flag. Thank you. Oh, RBS's car looks trashed. We're actually in the same car. When I bought the cars that I needed on Xbox, I bought them from people at the car meet. And I took RBS's Serrano, so we're actually in exactly the same car, but mine looks in a lot better shape. Last lap. I'm gonna go for this up the inside. I see no change of position for the leader come up yet. They must be close to finishing. I'm gonna run out of time, run out of laps. So obviously bad luck has hit RBS towards the end. I had all my bad luck at the start. Evinco took it, Specky second, so the slow car won it again, 2 in a row for the slow car. Oh, I had a little bit of oversteer. Damn, the little oversteer I think cost me the chance. Well, it's in the end, considering the chaos of that race and the carnage that I experienced and so many crashes. I mean, I guess there were many other crashes as well. I had pretty decent pace, a 105.2, so I was like, thanks for all the GGs by the way. I was on the pace. I probably... Like, it would have been an interesting battle for 3rd in the... Wait. 4th in the Serranos. So Elite got the win in the Suranos. What happened to Ovinco? Evinco got the win overall in the Serranos. This is all getting way too confusing. 1.1 second at the end between the top two, and the Surano, the sports car, was only 3.1 seconds back at the line. That's crazy close. Specky caught up to Evinco massively, and then I guess they just had their own battle. Better best lap, but got caught up in too many incidents. Ovinco, if I had more of a clean race, I could have had it. I mean, you could say that about everybody. Specky got good pace, probably didn't have a clean race. I think it really was whoever had the cleanest race would take the good positions. I think that was the way that it went. Some of the crashes were the fault of ourselves. Some of them weren't, but it was ultimately the person who had the cleanest race. And Evinko got away at the start, didn't he? Specky had a completely clean race, just started at the back. Oh, okay, I see. So that was, you had to make up all those places first, and then it was too long. But yeah, that's what you want with a car v car. Like, you know, everybody else's positions below the top few, you ultimately get the position that you deserve based on how well you did in your own race. So I was 8th best in that race because that's how it went. But how you want it to be is at the end, the top 2 or the top 4 or whatever, or the top guys in each car are close. And with 4 seconds separating the top 4 in that race, maybe 5 seconds, with 2 SUVs and 2 sports cars, it worked out quite well. It's a shame I wasn't in the race catching that top few, but you know, you can't, not all races can be clean and perfect like the last one in utility.